In my previous video, I've discussed the importance of politics and how a change manager at planning stage has to strategically identify the key stakeholders and how they interact with each other. Well, first of all, let's look at how you identify the stakeholders. So first of all, the change manager will have to have a look at the internal stakeholders. So whether they are senior managers, line managers and employees. Usually the way that is done is they get an up-to-date organizational chart, and basically they look at the individuals and how they interact together. Of course, in itself, the organizational chart is just a starting point because it will not say anything about, the personalities of the individuals, how they interact with each other. So, of course, the change manager will also have to carry out interviews, surveys, focus groups in order to gather this information. It's key to know who the stakeholders are and how they behave, because the change manager will have to determine whether these people are going to be supporters, so sponsors, or if they're going to be blockers. However, the change manager will also have to look at external stakeholders. So, for example, government, local community, clients, basically individuals that do basically interact with the company and may actually have an impact on the change initiative. Let's pretend that the company is looking at closing a branch in an area that is characterized by high level of unemployment. For the company, this is just a cutting cost exercise, but for that local community, it's going to be a hard hit. So the change manager will have to look at how this initiative is going to impact on the external stakeholders. So, for example, how the local community is going to react. Are there going to be protesters? Is it going to attract the bad press? Is it going to have a detrimental impact to the reputation of the company? These are all things that have to be considered. Another type of stakeholders that has to be identified are those that if you look, for example, at the organizational chart, they don't have a position of authority. So, for example, they are not CEOs, they are not members of the board, but in fact, in practical terms, they are very powerful because they have the power to influence other people. So again, by talking to individuals, by carrying out interviews, surveys, focus groups and so on, it's possible to identify those key players that, notwithstanding don't have these massive, fantastic, fancy job titles. In fact, they can be very powerful sponsors or they can be extremely insidious blockers. In the next video, I will talk about how to use this information in order to prepare what is called the key player matrix. Thank you so much for watching.